Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick note. Wanted to let you all know that we had an intro for this episode, and then we had to cut it off because of YouTube's dumb rules and regulations and whatnot. So we had just made an intro, then we had to delete it. But we're working on other options as far as getting our content elsewhere besides YouTube, because we don't like YouTube. We're not big fans of YouTube, so that's why we say what we say in the beginning of this episode. Enjoy. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad we have an intro now,
What an
Nick.
aggressive intro.
Yes, it really is.
I don't like
love
that. I don't like that metalness. You know, it's too aggressive. Hurts my feelings.
All right, you know what? We're just going to end this podcast right now. I don't want to hear your sensitive snowflake personality just now coming out.
Sorry, it's 2019. It's new me.
Once again, I don't care, okay? I don't know how many times I have to tell him this. I don't care. I don't give a fuck what year it is. You know, just go home. Just go home, okay?
All right,
cool.
Bye, Felicia.
I don't want to hear your sensitiveness on this podcast. You don't belong here, Nick. Now, we do have a guest.
Speaking of aggressiveness,
aggressive Nick.
we do have another gentleman in the room with us by the name of Ryan.
This stud over here.
Howdy.
So yes, I'll let him speak for himself, but he has slowly wandered into our group.
Yes.
Just because of America, guns, and conservativeness.
Yeah, I remember when you first told me, you're like, "Hey, so I met my neighbor, and he was openly carrying his gun, and I just immediately became friends with him."
Yeah, he's like walking around with his Glock on his hip. And I was like, this guy,
I remember you told me about that. You're like, "Oh yeah, I'm hanging out with this new guy next door," and I was like, "Oh, okay, all right, tell me more."
Yeah, it was an everyday event. Like, I knew when he was home, like his car was right there in my living room. It was great. But
oh god,
That's
I'm
right.
glad I didn't live next to you. You'd hate me.
I didn't even have. I
was like, because he's got a stock exhaust. So
yeah,
that is true. My my special car doesn't have an exhaust yet. I know Nick's tells me I'll never get one, but you don't know.
you've been talking about that for years. Even I asked you that.
yeah, he'll never mod his car.
No.
No, definitely not. So anyway, go ahead and give us some clarity on how you guys met.
Well, so I was in my bedroom. I'm just kidding. Ryan, go for it.
God spoke to me and told me to go out my front door, and I saw the man of my dreams outside. Yeah.
Well, that's got real gay real quick.
So you see what happened was.
Yeah. And this is also why he's acceptable.
Yeah.
You can throw around that that tone of voice if we don't get uncomfortable.
And if you did, I wouldn't care.
Yeah,
honestly, I would
that's
not care.
Also true.
Now, how we met, if I remember correctly, and Connor, correct me if I'm wrong.
I will.
Is I think you were doing some shit. Either you were pulling in or into your garage, or you had walked outside to do something, and I was outside either working on my truck or cleaning out my garage,
Probably.
or what have you.
Something like that.
But yeah, we ended up talking about guns, and you showed me yours, and
Well, I'm
I
pretty
showed
sure
you mine.
Yes.
That doesn't sound gay at all. No, I seriously think it was, because I think I saw you with your Glock on your hip, and I was like, this guy, he seems like he would be one of us.
To this day, it's still never been shot. I bought it over a year ago, and it has not been shot.
Sad story we can't mention on the air, but
Yeah, true.
not that we're on the air or whatever. You get what I'm saying. Yeah, that's
Before
that's
anybody
really sad.
starts hating Ryan, there's a reason why he can't use it. So
Yeah.
So we'll just stick with that.
I hate guns.
He's a criminal. No. yeah.
Get out!
He bought a Glock and he was like, you know what? I don't like firearms.
I like BB guns.
It's too
Not any better.
scary.
Yeah, it's too tactical.
Yeah, exactly. So, but after that, we pretty much hit it off and whatnot. Then, obviously after my divorce with my ex-wife or what have you.
That's a different story.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story for another time. But after that we started hanging out more, and
you were doing you were working
as EMT, right? In a
Yeah, I
different
was
town?
doing I was doing EMT out in Denton for Sacred Cross.
That's right. Oh, Nick knows about that drive from where we lived.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, that sucked.
Dude, 380 is the worst
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
I'm glad I don't have
It's
to get on
not
that
getting
road
any better
anymore.
now
Yeah.
either.
Oh, yeah. I've
Like,
seen
after
so
I
many
got-
more lights now.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like before I left for basic training and the moment I came back was night and day difference.
No,
Oh
I
my
bet.
God.
And it's still awful.
That's the last thing they needed was to add more lights to that road.
Yeah.
Because it was already bad
Every
enough
5
as
feet
is.
you're stopping.
God, that's so
Yeah.
fucking annoying. And plus,
Yeah.
it's like basically still like a 2-lane highway now, and everybody just.
Oh yeah, yeah. Everyone decides to just like find the car that they're driving next to and match their speed so that no one can pass.
Yeah, you
Oh,
remember
yeah.
driving out to Denton when I lived there?
Dude,
like how horrible it was.
And and you know, I would follow him back to his apartment, you know, just to hang out, and he would drive like such an asshole, and
Who,
you know,
Nick?
drive. Yeah, Nick. No, I mean, he still does, but my point is after you know,
It was worse because I was so mad.
Well, after going down 380 for so many times, I'm like, you know, all right, I understand. I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
This
there
road
was
sucks.
times where I was driving like on the shoulder or in oncoming traffic just to get around somebody because they're going like 20 miles under the speed limit, and the person next to them was matching their
Is
speed.
this when you still had your Z?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
R.I.P. the Z.
yeah, yep,
That car.
Well, I've been told females drive that car,
as I like
so
to call it.
yeah. Well, I upgraded. I've got a V8 now, so
Yeah.
I've got
But-
a loud, obnoxious V8 that shows how big my dick is. You know, so
that's
we all
why
need to
I
know-
drove lifted trucks. You know, it's like, hey, my cock's this big when it's really not.
yeah, I know. And now you're driving a Kia, so it's like basically you have a vagina.
God.
So.
You know what? Fuck you. Fuck both of you. I'm out. I'm leaving. Bye.
All right,
Yeah, well,
but you can
know,
make up for it. Like you've done EMT.
Your car's still probably faster than mine. So,
I don't know. I raced a Subaru just for kicks and giggles and got my ass handed to me. But then
I bet
again,
you
that's
would
an
too.
probably
STI.
would
So
too.
Yeah, I
I
bet
was gonna
you-
say I would probably get my shit handed to me too.
Yeah, I'll say the STIs have a turbo. His is like without the turbo, so it's slow shit.
it's yeah.
It's
It's a little slow.
It's a
especially
go
when you-
kart that could be so much faster.
Yeah.
Like I said, I raced 122 down 75 going to work last month. So
Yeah, I've been there before. I've done that.
now with the cop situation, all the construction, I'm not as ballsy right now.
I don't blame you. Yeah. Dude, the
Yeah.
cops have been out like crazy on the highways recently.
really
I don't know if
have.
you've
End of the
noticed that or
month.
not.
End of
yeah.
the month.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Because I got pulled over
Is
to.
that a thing?
Yeah, they have to meet their quota at the end of the month, and usually beginning of the month, it's
they
not.
legit
it's,
have a quota.
yeah,
It's weird.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Because there's so many cops when you talk to them, they're like, we don't have a quota. And it's like, I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
they say that because if they say they did, and you use that, probably
Yeah,
use
you
that in
could. That could
court,
be. Yeah, I could totally see how they'd be like, well, then he really did need to pull me
Because
over.
bear in mind, they're wearing the body camera, so they have to watch what they say and do now.
Yeah.
Which
I bet.
it was never a bad thing to begin with. They just use it for their own protection because you got a lot of people saying that, oh, he did this and he did that. No, sorry,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's well. I mean, I'm okay with that. You know, especially for law enforcement, because, like you said, they have a bunch of idiots that will, you know, try the whole. Oh, he did. You know, he did this to me. He did this to me. No, he's got a body cam. You're full of shit. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. I'm generally not okay with anyone watching me, but you know, like
We
the
watch you
government-
all the
I don't- aside from Ryan outside of my window at 2:00 in the morning,
He's like, who's that guy throwing up over the porch?
dude. Okay, so now you now you got to get into that story.
Yeah, so kind
Shortly
of
after.
back to how me and Connor and Nick met now. And there was also, what was his name? AJ?
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
bulky. Big
Swole
bulky.
MFer.
Yeah, Swole J is what I call him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, shortly after my divorce, our apartment complex was throwing this pool party.
Oh, yeah.
There was free beer too. I was
Yeah.
shocked. I was shocked by that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were-
right.
they-
I know.
Yeah, they had free beer, and the cooler was enormous. It was one
Yeah.
of the largest coolers that you could possibly probably buy lengthwise. And
We took full advantage of that.
Oh, we did, because I had a 24-pack of Miller. Y'all had we had that shots before we left.
We brought our beer, the shit that we brought, and the free beer.
Yeah, exactly. So we powered through that, powered through all the beer that they had.
Yeah.
And there was these chicks sitting there with Jello shots. And they're like, hey, we got Jello shots we need to get over. Y'all want some?
They neglected to say it was made with Everclear at the moment.
No,
so.
well, she told you
Yeah.
about 2 shots in.
yeah, they're like, oh, by the way,
two,
yeah.
3 shots in, she tells us, oh, Everclear. And by that time, we're already toasted. She's like, yeah, fuck yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
So me and Nick are just throwing back.
Oh my God, yeah.
And, you know, them two, you know, y'all two left.
We were all drinking about. I mean,
Yeah, we
were
all drank the same,
drinking
but
a
y'all
bit.
left before I did.
That's true.
Because, you
Oh,
know,
yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
I was drunk, hitting on them or whatever. trying to get a
Oh,
number
that's
or
why
whatever.
we left. I
Yeah.
was like, me and Nick, we were like, you know, let's go back to my place. I'm not gonna be like an asshole. I want to like give him some space to do
Yeah,
it.
Connor was like
Which-
basically like, hey, like let's let him.
Yeah.
see if
Which
he
I got
can-
nowhere with, obviously, because they left and I think I made power back 1 or 2 more shots. And, you know, if I totaled up everything, I probably had at least 20 beers, 1 of your shots of tequila, and maybe 6 or 7 shots of Jello Everclear shots.
Oh my God.
And
20 beers,
the moment,
really?
yeah.
I probably wasn't far behind that, to be
No,
honest.
he wasn't far behind that, I don't
Yeah,
think,
you're probably
because
right.
the moment I walked back, or the moment I got out of the pool, it all hit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't make
bet.
it out that gate far enough before I colored the grass green, blue, red, every color of the goddamn rainbow.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so funny because like I think I had your. Did I
had-
have your keys?
Yeah, you have my keys.
Jesus.
For what reason, I don't remember.
I don't either.
But I told you to leave them on my tire.
yeah, which was
And I left my garage door open, which,
Yeah.
you know, it didn't bother me now because nobody's going to. If somebody wants to walk in my apartment and steal my shit, go for it. I ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a blow up mattress. By all means, go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're constantly working. It's not like you really live at home very much.
Yeah, exactly. I was working 200 hours every 2 weeks, so I was killing myself.
Jesus.
But yeah, in any event, I walked back and, you know, I said,
Nick was
Yo,
throwing up off
the
my
rain-
balcony.
yeah.
Yeah, I was. Dude, I was so fucking drunk.
I think
Oh
I
my
texted
God.
you and I was like, or one of us texted you after you had stumbled home. I don't know how.
Oh yeah, you texted Ryan and said, "Hey."
Yeah, I
you
was
know,
like, don't go on your patio because for those who do not know, my balcony, you lived right under me.
Yeah, I was right
we
under
both
you.
had
They
attached
were-
garages. Yours just went straight into the first floor. Mine went right above you,
Mm-hmm.
and so my patio was right over your patio. So he could step off his concrete slab and go into the grass, you know, easily. Whereas I had a railing, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
and Nick's. You know, after we had gotten back,
Hurling
shortly
over the railing.
just hung over the balcony, just puking up his intestines.
Yeah.
And I texted Ryan. I was like, "Don't go outside."
and the thing is, I didn't look at the text till next morning because I was hugging the commode all night. Like I fell asleep next to that. I became best friends
With the toilet.
with the toilet. That
Oh,
night.
yeah.
Dude, and the thing is, I was hurting so bad I couldn't eat or drink anything. I was in so much pain. Like I don't know how I'm alive today.
dude, that was
Yeah,
awful.
that
I was right there with you, man. I was after the balcony. I was hugging that toilet for
Was
the
I
rest
the
of the
one
night.
that actually did throw up that night?
You didn't throw up that
Yeah,
night.
you didn't because I don't think you were hearing back shots like we were.
Yeah,
I mean, I know you had some, no doubt.
I
you had
definitely
some.
was drinking quite a bit.
dude, I was so
Hey,
drunk. We were at the pool, and
Well,
I
here's the
climbed
thing.
up to the top of the fountain, and I jumped off the top of the fountain into like a 3-foot pool.
Yeah,
Well,
you
what-
did
no,
that.
Everybody was like,
I
"Don't do
remember
it." I was like,
that.
"Nah,
wasn't
fuck it, I'm going
three-
for it."
wasn't
And
3
after-
foot. That's a little.
It was like at least 5 foot. It wasn't very tall.
That's
like,
a serious difference when it comes
Yeah.
to pool depth.
But
sir.
Either
still,
way,
like-
when his fat ass hit the water, he was still going
That's
down,
true.
you know, lawn darting the concrete
That's
at the
true.
bottom or
yeah,
That's true.
plaster.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was what did you do? You weren't working the next morning, were you?
No.
I was gonna say, there's no way in
Lord
hell.
have mercy, no.
Yeah.
No, I think I'd gotten off shift that morning.
Oh yeah, it was
And
time
then
to
we-
Oh
party.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
time to
Because the
party.
next morning I went over to my mom's. I'm like, I'm hurting so bad.
Was that the first or second time we got like super drunk? Or at
I
least
think
me?
that was
There
the
were a couple.
I think that was the first time I ever got that intoxicated with y'all.
Because I pretty much
Like
vowed
that's
that
when
I'd
we
never
all
drink around
really
you.
fucking connected.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh
we were
yeah.
like, oh, he's got.
Because AJ was with us for a little bit.
Oh yeah, then
Yeah.
he bailed.
Yeah, he bailed.
Yeah.
No shock there.
I haven't seen that
AJ, if
motherfucker
you're
in a
listening, I
while.
love you, but dude, you need to fucking.
I live with him and
hang
I
out
barely
with us
see him.
more.
Yeah, he's a recluse. Love the guy, but he's a recluse for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, he is. Love him, but you
Yeah,
know.
I had to vow to myself that I wouldn't drink as much with you every.
Oh, and look
moving
what happened.
forward.
Not-
somehow
not
you
recently.
somehow you had your head in my trash can.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and not too recently. I think it was my going away before I left for basic, or
Dude.
was it your housewarming party that we had where he was thrown up again, or was it when we
Yeah.
went to Kelly's? They're like, I'm not taking these shots. You know, they were Vegas moms.
Kelly's.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, when we went out with
Oh yeah.
you, this first time you met Kaylee.
You were driving though.
Oh yeah, he was driving. He was driving.
Were you that drunk?
I wasn't that drunk.
I was gonna say
No,
we
but
all
I-
kind of drank the same amount.
I was
No,
gonna
but
say I
he's
didn't drink
like-
that much, but it was the fact that I was like, nah, I'm not gonna drink like that anymore. They're like, oh, let's do Vegas bombs, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like she
The
ordered.
peer pressure.
Ryan's girlfriend ordered shots, and then Nick was like, no, okay, fine.
Yeah. Basically, everybody took their turn like twisting my arm to get me to do it. So you
yeah,
know.
and that was bad of me because he was my DD, so I was like,
Oh, yeah, I
this
was
is
your
probably
DD.
not good.
Yeah.
And the
You
funny
rather
thing
me.
was, it's the first night y'all met her.
Yeah.
The very first time y'all met her.
Oh, yeah.
She starts buying. You're like, I'm not
Well,
taking Vegas
we
bombs.
also had like 2 of those big beer
Yeah,
towers.
we had the beer towers, and we were just knocking them back.
I probably had 3 beers in the shot, and that was about all I had. So
You had 2 shots on me.
oh god,
Funny that he remembers more so than you do.
I have a horrible memory.
Well, the thing is, I think
Clearly.
after our Everclear night, my alcohol level of being able, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
the
tolerance.
tolerance, thank you,
Yeah.
it, has gone way up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's totally opposite. It's gone way down.
Well, I
Yeah.
will say during my my couple weeks off of drinking due to my surgery, I definitely had a loss in my tolerance for sure. I definitely noticed it because like the first time I had a beer, I think I still had my splint in my mouth. I'm pretty sure
did.
it was before. Yeah, like I was drinking.
You
This is
drank
not bad.
before you ate like solid food.
Yeah, I did.
Speaking of,
I think like Christmas Eve when everyone was like, having all like my parents had all this food out, and I'm just sitting there with my mouth wired shut, and I'm just like, oh, darn it, this sucks.
put it in a blender for me, please.
Funny you said
Yeah.
it. My dad actually did that. That was weird.
That's nasty.
It was gross. He threw an enchilada and salsa in a blender, and I ate it.
Oh my god.
And dude, you'd be surprised to how desperate you are when you have a whole week of not eating solid
Dude,
food.
Smoothie King all day.
I know.
Smoothie King was my best friend for like a week.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was crazy, but yeah, I definitely noticed my tolerance had a nice dip. I think I had my first beer probably Christmas Eve, which was almost a week after my surgery.
Did you
And
drink
I had
it with a
one
straw?
beer, and I was good enough to where I could kind of tilt it back, and after I had a beer, I had my first sip, and I was like, oh, it's wonderful. And then I finished that beer, and I was like, wow, my tolerance has gone way down.
Well, not to
not
mention how
good.
much weight you lost too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, you lost like 15
Yeah,
pounds in
I-
1
I-
week.
I
Yeah.
could tell. I was like, damn, motherfucker lost weight.
Yeah, that was not. Yeah.
What's your secret?
Don't eat for a week.
Drink out of a syringe for a
Yeah,
week.
eat out of a syringe for a week.
Yeah.
I lost 15 pounds in less than a week.
No kidding.
It was
Yeah.
ridiculous. It was I wouldn't advise it.
I know, I was thinking the same thing, too.
I seriously, there were nights where I had to take, I was on pain meds obviously, and I had to take codeine just to help with the pain, but I'd also take it just to go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And I would be laying there in the middle of the night, like, God bless it, I want Whataburgers, so I would kill.
Put it in a blender.
Dude,
You had your first Whataburger on New Year's Eve.
I
so-
did. And I probably shouldn't have been eating it because I
No.
really wasn't supposed to be chewing anything. But like I had it. I ordered it. I took it home and I was like cutting it up like a effing 3-year-old. Like I'm just like cutting it up to
Yeah, I
where it
remember
was like a baby bird could pick at it, and it was so sad.
I remember that. That was pretty
It's
funny.
ridiculous. So yeah, it wasn't fun. But yeah, it was. It's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I would have came over, but that was actually the 2 weeks I got hammered with work, and I was,
yeah.
dude, I've been stressing out about so much shit.
It's all right. I didn't go visit him either, so I'm kind of an asshole as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
at least you're on the same
Don't
page
feel-
as me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't feel too bad. I did it too. Yeah, I mean, I saw him on New Year's Eve. That was cool, but before that, I hadn't seen him at all. Grab me a beer. Grab me a beer. Yeah. No, it was really funny. Like when Connor was losing off of 15 pounds, I was like, man, somebody needs to break my jaw so I could lose weight too.
No shit.
Yeah,
We're
definitely.
over there struggling at a gym, sweating our asses off, and he's, eating out of a syringe with a broken jaw and losing 50 pounds. Like,
I know.
fuck you, dude.
I was like, dude, that's not fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise it. It was probably the most depressing
America.
week I've had in a long time. Like, it was just a sad sack of shit, just sitting in my bed, like, I want to eat.
Not only that, but you were also like talking with the list. But you're like, man, I hate you.
Well,
I
that was
feel so
after
sad."
after I finally got my jaw unwired.
Yeah.
Like that was really like
For the rest of the podcast, I'm talking with a lisp.
the
Just
jaw.
saying.
Just for you.
The two people that'll be listening to this that will turn it off.
Yeah. No,
we
it's-
don't we don't want that.
The unaired episode that we did, like the whole time, I was just like, "Hey, I'm Connor. Yeah,
Yeah. We had a little unofficial episode that will never get aired, just because it's not for the air. It's not for recording.
It's not for the good soul
For
here.
the general
Yeah.
public.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have to make a public service announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Warning.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
Warning,
was,
not for children.
You can hear me in the back. That's what I was saying. I went through and edited all of that, which so I don't know. Who knows? Like I
Could
said,
be,
I haven't even asked. I haven't consulted the rest of the council to ask if they're all cool with me releasing that after I heavily edited it. And yeah, so we'll see. We talked about that. So yeah. But
So-
other back to Ryan.
Yeah, so I'm actually curious. So, how did you get into EMT, and then also how did that lead into like you joining the army? So I'm
Well,
just curious how that kind of started.
the army thing is something I've always wanted to do. Like,
Yeah,
since I was as a young little
a young
Young
chap,
chap.
young chap,
Nice
Yeah.
young lad.
a young stud.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that. And the thing is, obviously I've been married twice, which blows dick in a bad way.
Yeah,
But in any event, no, I always wanted to join the military, but neither one of my wives wanted to be military wives. They're
Right.
like, just in case something happens, I couldn't bear that.
yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's what I want to do.
It takes a special kind of girl to be a military wife for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, knowing that you may not come back. Now, the possibility of me seeing combat is, not likely.
Yeah.
But there's a chance it could happen, especially if shit goes south.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're the first one to get drafted, so
I won't even have to be drafted.
Or-
I'm just there.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
Uncle Sam's like, hey,
He's already part of the
come on.
group.
yeah.
yeah.
He's
That's-
already
that's
part of the
fair.
group.
Yeah, good point.
But no, it was one of those things where at the very beginning it's like, okay, well, if I can't join the military, I'll go be a fireman.
Fair
If I can't serve my country, I'll serve my city or my state.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I went through fire academy, did all that, got my Texas fire cert, and I've kept up with it since. And then later on, I think probably about 4 or 5 years later, I left to go get my EMT and got it, and I've just done it ever since. And the funny thing is I like medical more than I do fire, but in a fire department, you're going to see 90% of your calls are EMS related, overdoses, suicides, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And
I guess that makes sense because they usually send a fire truck with an ambulance, don't they?
yeah, so just in case you need lift assist or whatnot, because you never know what you're walking into.
Okay.
Caller will tell dispatch one thing, and then dispatch will relay it to us, and we just go to it. So you never know what you're walking into. So if it's like a suicide attempt, police will be there and everything like that because they need to be there just in case there's like a shooting
Yeah.
or somebody has a gun or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Any sort of possible criminal activity going on.
Well, that, and, if it's going to harm us, they don't want us in there until they give the okay.
Yeah, and I heard. So I was listening to the radio, and this was mentioned. I don't know if it's true. Is it like if EMT or like firefighters show up on a scene beforehand,
Before
there are some,
PD?
Yeah, before police. Like they're not allowed to go on site in some cases,
Yeah, so if we show up on scene,
like a
and-
shooting or something.
yeah, if we show up on scene to that and the police aren't there, we'll back off. We'll go
Really?
around the block or something to where we're at least in a safe area until police get
What
there.
if you're in a situation where someone is in need of desperate medical attention? You still can't do it.
Still can't do it because
That's
our
wild,
lives,
dude.
we take
Yeah.
priority in our lives before theirs, and it sounds
Yeah.
shitty. It
No,
really
but,
does.
No, but it really.
but
I mean,
we don't need to be a casualty helping a casualty.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, it's the logical way to look at it as opposed to the emotional way to look at it.
Exactly.
You know, some people don't understand that.
No, and a lot of people say, "Well, why aren't you helping them? You signed up for this." Yeah, we did, but we also didn't sign up just to be voluntarily shot at.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
kind of have to make a calculated decision in some situations where it's like, yeah, it sucks, but like it's less worse than the other way around.
so because if we got hurt, now we have to be treated before they do.
Yeah.
That's the thing. A cop or firefighter, like if they get hurt and there's
Yeah.
a civilian that needs help too, it's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, we're gonna treat our guys first before we go to you.
Yeah. I mean, it makes
Now,
sense. You
now,
gotta-
granted, there'll be more people on scene to help with that cause,
Right.
but
Yeah.
other than that, but no, as far as getting into all this and whatnot, yeah, I went through EMT, got that, then I left 2 years ago, which is crazy to sound now, but I didn't think it was that long. It still seems like it was last year. I left for basic training and just got back.
It blows my mind to think that it has been that long since you went to
Yeah,
basic.
exactly.
That's weird to me.
Yeah,
to
because
think
I left
about.
in 2017 of October 31st. I was in reception.
And if you don't mind me asking too, so since you had went into it about 2 years ago, you were 28 or 29,
20.
He was old.
Yeah, I was 29.
which is
I
the cutoff.
just-
I
right?
can say that I'm
Well,
the youngest one here.
No, 29 is the cutoff for the Marines. And I was 28 when I had asked the Marines a month before turning 29.
Oh, that's right. 'Cause
And,
you
yeah.
wanted to do that first, didn't
Yeah,
you?
I wanted to go in the Marines, and they're like, you know what, we could get you in, but it's gonna like all the
You're right
paperwork.
off that cutoff date.
He goes, it'd be much easier for you to go Navy, Army, or Air Force.
It'd be a SEAL.
Well, and the thing is, I was like, all right, well, if you don't mind transferring me to the Navy recruiter, at least give my information. And he goes, okay, no problem. I go over there, and I get over there, and I go talk to a Navy recruiter, and like he's like, okay, well, you need to be at 191, and you had to have a good ASVAB score or what have you. Like, okay, I'm not worried about my ASVAB score. If anything, I could brush up on math science, whatever.
Right.
Well, my problem was I was 215 pounds, not looking like I do today, but a more solid muscle. And me trying to get down to 191 from about 220 or 215,
Yeah, that'd be kind of tough.
stop eating, stop, working out as much, or actually at all, and just really eating maybe once a day. Dude, that sucked. I was like,
Yeah.
you know what?
Terrible.
There's just no way I can get down to it. So I went Army, and probably the best decision I ever made with that.
Yeah.
What was that? If you don't mind me asking, what was that like to be 29 and basic? Like, I had heard that they typically try to put you around people around the same age, but
Not necessarily. It's they just wherever. Okay, so they put you. There's probably about 4 or 5 bases or installations where they'll put you for basic training.
Okay.
You got where I went, which is Fort Leonard Wood. You got Fort Sill
and
you
Lackland,
got-
right?
No, Lackland's an Air Force base.
Oh, that's right, because that's
Yeah.
where Zach went for in San
Yeah.
Antonio. That's right.
Yeah, Lackland's an Air Force base, and you got. Oh, what's the other one? Anyways, yeah, you got some other ones out there. You got one in South Carolina. I think one in also Georgia, Fort Benning.
Yeah.
But yeah, in any event, no, they just kind of put you wherever you fit, and plus, with me being a 74 Delta or a Seaburn, pretty much
An old guy. No, I'm just kidding.
well, a chemical guy, is our the training for Seaburn is on that base.
Oh, okay.
So I was there for 7 months, so it just made it that much easier.
Yeah, because your basic was only, what, 9 weeks? 6 to 9
It
weeks?
was 12 weeks.
12 weeks? Okay.
12 weeks with obviously your 2-week leave for Exodus.
I was gonna
for
say.
Christmas
I remember.
leave.
Yeah, I remember. You came back for Christmas or whatever it was.
Oh, yeah.
How many days were you here? You weren't here very long.
No, I wasn't here very long. I was maybe here a week and a half.
That's
You
right, 'cause
came
we
back
saw
and
you
we
coming
went,
in
we went to
and-
Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, that looks like some guy who came fresh out of the Army.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Ryan.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who is this?
So-
This dick.
Yeah. So then I went back, and dude, I tell you what, drill sergeants, they went from being okay hard to in your fucking face, like
Damn.
hard. Like
'Cause
we
they
got
can't-
as soon as we got back, we got what's the word when you get kicked out of an apartment or something like that?
Evicted.
Evicted.
Yeah, we got evicted from our barracks, and we had 2 minutes. 2 minutes to pack all of our bags.
What?
Means all of our uniforms, everything in our bunkers, everything to get out.
What?
Yeah, because somebody had an MRE. They snuck an MRE in.
Oh, my God.
Oh my god.
And when we were out there waiting for the all clear to go back in, they trashed the whole fucking barracks.
Oh, my God.
Sandbags were everywhere. MRE was sprayed everywhere. People who left shampoo out, that was sprayed everywhere.
Oh, my God.
People's shoes were tied together. You didn't know whose is whose.
What?
Shirts, everything that you may have left behind was everywhere,
oh
dude.
my god.
It was a fucking nightmare.
Oh, my God.
God, that sounds
'Cause
terrible.
that's the one thing they typically try to teach you is, like, think in one unit. And when one person fucks it up for
Yeah.
it fucks it up for everybody.
Yeah,
you know?
it does. And the thing
Yeah.
is, in basic training, they got 3 phases. You got your red, your white, and your blue phase.
Sure.
Your red phase, one person fucks up, everybody's getting punished. Your white phase, one person fucks up, you still kind of get the everybody gets punished type thing, but it just depends on the severity on it.
Right.
And then blue phase is you fuck up, you get punished.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And Nick, me and Nick were together, and like he says some smart ass comment, and he tells him to do like 50 push-ups. I'm just sitting there like, yeah, you do those push-ups, you bitch.
Oh, the thing is too, like if you're doing your push-ups and your knees touch the ground like to rest or whatnot,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, start over.
Start
Yeah.
over.
And if you're not counting, they're like 0, 0, 0. I'm like, no.
Oh, that's funny.
That sucks.
That's
I'd
awesome.
be so mad.
But no, it was great, especially when you get into AIT, man. Fucking great.
AIT,
Oh,
what-
dude, AIT, Advanced Individual Training.
Which was your training right
Oh,
after?
That
yeah.
was my
basic,
training
right?
for my job.
Fun
you know?
stuff, right?
Yeah, so
More-
I actually got to
yeah.
do my job, and then everything was more laid back. So much more laid
I
back.
figured, yeah.
Like we didn't have to. We still had to do PT in the mornings at 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
But we at breakfast, lunch, dinner, we didn't have to sit there real quiet, eat our food as fast as we can. We can just sit there, chill, talk amongst.
You get a
everybody
nice
and-
lunch
It-
break.
yeah, it's not like you have
yeah.
to shove it all down, and if you look at like anybody but your food, like you get yelled at kind
Oh
of thing.
yeah. They'll come over there like,
Wait,
what
that's
the
a-
fuck you looking at?
That's the
Oh,
thing.
man.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's a
have to like
fucking
look
thing.
at your food and keep your head down. while
I
you're
didn't.
eating.
I knew that you had to eat fast and like everything was rushed and stuff. But like if you look at some,
Yeah, your
that's so
face has
dumb.
to be down looking at your plate until it's time to go, and you have about 5 seconds to get outside.
That's
if
the
you don't meet
dumbest
that,
thing.
if you it teaches you to hurry up in situations. So,
Focus on eating. Is that what it teaches you?
pretty much
Oh my
for the
god.
most part.
Well, and getting out of there pretty quickly, it's like if you don't scarf
Yeah.
your food down right away, you have to like.
Because you never know when you're going to, like, say if you're
No, yeah, you're
over
right.
Middle East or whatever, you're eating, next thing you're getting attacked. You just never know.
Yeah.
the
It's
same
called
thing.
being efficient.
Yeah, it's the same thing in EMS or fire. It's like you never know when your tones are going to go off, so you have to eat as quick as possible.
Yeah, I could see that.
So
Yeah, that.
Yeah, it's almost one of those things where like I hate to say it, but I almost wish that the U.S. mandated everybody to at least go through basic training in their life.
yeah,
And I don't want to say I hate to say it because
I
I really do want to go through basic training at
I
some
wouldn't
point
say
in my life.
everyone. I kind of thought that it would definitely be. It would have its perks.
I still think everybody
people
should.
being
Well,
less
there's-
shitty.
there would be a lot more respectful people, at least I
Oh
would
yeah,
think,
for sure.
and a lot less snowflakes
yeah.
Yes.
or
yes.
whiny ass bitches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes. They're one and the same. Venn
Yeah.
diagram is a perfect circle.
But yeah, I'd be all for it.
Yeah. Except again, special
Because there are countries
there's
out there
not
that make their
everyone can
citizens
do
go
that.
through basic. So
Yeah,
know?
you have to go through it, and at least
Like
get-
what countries?
I think it's like Israel or some
Israel,
some shit
I
like
think
that.
like Sweden or like some of the countries out in the east and stuff.
the UK.
Yeah, the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
didn't
think
know
it,
that.
yeah, I don't think necessarily the basic has to be there like to teach everybody combat experience, but at least knowing how to function efficiently.
Discipline is
and
really
discipline,
what
yeah,
that's more
discipline
so-
and respect is really what needs to go, and integrity.
Yeah.
Integrity is what a lot of people fucking lack.
Really?
Yes, integrity
Like
and
how so? Give me an example.
just you know what integrity stands for.
I do, but like
Honestly, not doing something when you're doing something right when nobody's looking type
Yeah.
shit. Everybody wants to do the polar opposite.
that's true. Yeah.
Or if they fuck up, they're like, "Oh, I didn't do that." It's just
Yeah,
like
owning up to their
fucking own up
responsibility.
to it.
Yeah.
Because if you own up to it, it's more respectful. Or be
That's
like,
true.
"Okay, well, you owned up to it. We'll give you a second chance." Versus, I caught you in a lie. No, you're
Yeah.
fucking out, homie.
It's like the people when they get pulled over by the cop and it's like, I'm recording you. Instead of actually just saying, yeah, I was speeding, like, yeah, I made a mistake,
They're
They're
not-
like, I'm
yeah.
recording you, I didn't do it.
You think the cops really gonna first of all, do you think they're gonna give a shit? And two, you think they're gonna be a little more lenient with them when they got a camera in their face, which they already have a camera on them
Yeah.
now. It's like, I don't care. Like, what? Cool, you're recording me. You're just gonna piss them off more.
exactly. It's dumb.
Yeah,
Fucking
I
dumb.
agree. Yeah, that's I was gonna. Are you first of all? Are you done with your story? Because I wanted to ask you one other thing. Completely unrelated. I just want to make sure you were.
No, I'm done. Unless you want to know more about the Army, that I may not know.
Other than basic training is probably
I
not
mean,
fun.
if you want to know what I do actually at my unit, it's
That's
nothing.
true. Do you you do something with chemicals, right?
Yeah, chemical. So it's
So you get to wear a hazmat suit.
yeah. During AIT, I wore actually hazmat suits and stuff like that. And,
That's crazy.
you know, I was there actually during a full blown winter in Missouri.
Can you get me a respirator?
Oh yeah, that was the thing we forgot.
It's just an N95 mask. You can get those at Home Depot.
I know.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten one. I just need one.
Get those at Home Depot.
Don't ask, but I need one.
I know.
Now it's interesting. The thing we forgot to touch on was the fact that he was sent to basic in the middle of winter up in
Oh yeah,
where,
it was
Missouri?
cold as hell, wasn't it?
It sucked, dude. I was doing PT in 8-degree weather.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
I had
Christ.
a right knee injury, and I was running like Forrest Gump when he had his braces on.
Oh my god.
And then he came back to us, and we were having beers at Twin Peaks.
Because the last thing you want to do is like go running.
This is different.
Because like my buddy Nick, he went into I think it was the Air Force or the Army, and he was in basic, and I guess he had like ended up getting horrible shin splints to the point
Yeah.
where like he couldn't walk anymore.
I know a lot of people that had those, and I was deathly afraid of getting those.
That's that's the
What
thing.
exactly is that?
A
Like,
shin
I've
splint.
heard of
It feels like what it feels like is small splinters of your bone are starting to protrude. Your shin is really splintering out,
Oh,
and eventually
No,
it will.
thank you.
Eventually it will break. I had a buddy of mine who's actually an 88 Mike, who's at Fort Sill right now. He actually ran on one of those, and one day he just heard it pop.
Yeah.
Broke his leg right there running.
I've heard about that, and that's the I guess it's kind of the shitty situation because it's like if you get a shin splint and you try and power through it, you could make it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to go on into the medical bay or whatever it's called because like you can keep you there like in prison for like 6 months.
Oh well, they'll keep you there, but also at the same time, if you stay there too long, they'll either roll you back to
Yeah.
all the way to where
dude,
it
that would,
happened.
I'd be so mad.
Oh yeah, or you can power through it, or you can get medically discharged, which that takes 6 to 8 months.
No, and that's the thing. My buddy Nick was in basic, and he had that problem, and I guess maybe some anxiety. And they threw him into medical with people who actually had problems with like suicide and people who were like really
Yeah,
fucked
see,
up
it's
in
like
the
it's
head.
not the same. It's like
No.
like
And I
my
remember him
leg's
telling me he
broken.
was trapped in there for 6 months
Yeah,
because of medical discharge. Like they were keeping him in there with people, you know, who actually had mental illnesses. And he,
Yeah,
like,
that's totally
he's
different. That
basically
sucks.
he's basically in prison.
Yeah.
you know, because he's surrounded a bunch of people who are psychotic. He's trapped in there. He can't have any freedom. Like it's still like you're in
yeah,
the
you're
military.
on suicide watch, really.
You're
Yeah.
property of the U.S. government.
Yeah. And that's just, it's like, how do you make that call? It's like, do I push these shin splints to like, until my leg breaks or do I,
Dude,
you know, just,
yeah, that's one of those things that I will give you props, man, because I've told pretty much everyone like I have the highest respect for people that go in the military. But obviously it's not for everyone. I know that.
Yeah.
You know that. But like that's one of those things that just I don't know why that just bugs the hell out of me. Like you're the government's property. Like they can tell you, they control your life. They can tell you what to do, move you wherever. Like that messed with my head. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, being in the reserves, yes and no. I mean, they'll tell you where your unit's going to be,
Yeah.
but when it's ready for you to call up, that's just when you go. But like
Yeah.
if you're active duty, you'll be on the installation for 3-4 years,
Yeah.
and then you get to pick where you want to go after that. I
Right.
believe so.
and that's what Zach's doing now, you know, I mean, he's in Washington right now and then he's going to get sent out to Germany in August. So,
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, see, my sister, and she just got done at Lackland. Actually, I'm sorry, I'll take that back. Out in the one Shepherd Air Force Base out in Wichita.
Okay.
She got done there last September, and now she's up in Washington
That's cool.
at the Air Force Base. Which apparently, from what I hear, they're closing down that Air Force Base, doing some reconstruction on like the airfield. So she's going down to California.
Wow. Yeah. Zach was,
Cool.
he was in basic at Lackland and then got sent to California at Monterey and was there for 2 years. And then he got sent to Georgia and he was at Georgia for 3 or 4 years. And then I guess now he's
Yeah.
in Washington before he goes to Germany. So, yeah.
Speaking of Washington, complete tangent here now, because I want to ask you: did you see this past, not this weekend, but last weekend? This, and I know this is old news now because the news cycle lasts about 2 days nowadays. The Catholic school group of dudes, boys, whatever, who were they were there in Washington, I believe it was Washington, for the pro-life rally. and then that Native American guy comes up with his
Yes.
drum and starts banging it in the kid's face.
Yeah, I
and
did
the
see that. He's wearing the,
media
Trump
spun
hat.
that. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, half of them were wearing "Make America Great Again" hats.
I didn't even
mean,
hear about this. So
I
yeah,
cannot,
dude, it's
believe,
all
I
over
cannot
Facebook.
believe you didn't
Really?
hear about this.
No, it's news to me.
Dude, like it was so crazy. I have and this is why I do not trust the media one bit at all. It's all bullshit. It's all skewed, spun terribly. Dude, like I had never seen the media fuck up that much. It was unbelievable how awful and how wrong
The media is huge, Lyles.
it is fake news. It really was. I mean,
Oh,
as
yeah.
dumb as it sounds. So okay, so these kids, they were there for their they were there for the pro-life march gathering, whatever.
Oh, speaking of, remind me of pro-life after you get done with this, because I got some. I think it happened in New York or North Carolina or some shit like that.
No, or you can share afterwards. I don't care. But anyways, they were there. This Native American guy comes up, and again, not all of this is on, is told in the media because they took it and ran with the complete opposite direction. Native American guy with this other group who is very radical. I can't remember the Black Israelites or whatever. They're very, very obscene and very radical. They were there at the same time, whatever. But this Native American group, they come up and started. This guy, he was, doing his chant, whatever the hell you want to call it, march, banging his drum in the kids, and
Man with feather.
Man with feather. How? But he got this. He was banging his drum, doing his chant and blah blah blah, and
That's how
but
entice the women.
He was, and the video that you see, the very, very heavily edited video that you see in the news is this white, Catholic school group, very young. He's probably, he was probably 17. And he's just, you see the video of him just kind of standing there, and he's got this he does have a very smart ass look on his face, but he's just standing there. And he's kind of, and they all, like half of them have Make America Great Again hats on. And he's just standing there, like just staring at this guy banging his drum in his face. And he's just standing there like
Yeah, he's
he's
standing there,
smiling,
he's
just
standing there
smirking at
smiling.
him.
But he's not doing anything
No,
wrong.
he's not. No, you're right. He's not. And the media spun it to where these group of boys who were wearing all MAGA hats, they all came up to this Native American group and guy specifically and started harassing him. And it was just, it was.
I think it was the other way around.
Dude, no, it really
beating
was.
his drums right
Everyone,
in front of him.
he came, there's a 2-hour video that's completely unedited. I can't talk. And he comes up to their group and starts banging his fucking drum in their face. And again, the media just completely took it the other way and was like, yeah, look at these white MAGA hat wearing.
They did the same thing with the
racist-
Tiki March too.
Yeah, like all the racist MAGA, Trump supporters who were all white males came up and harassed this Native American guy in his group, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, oh my god! Again, I was just like, "Nah, this just further proves why I don't trust
You
a
really
damn
can't
thing
trust the media
news
at
says.
all.
No,
And I posted something on Facebook about how this guy had brought flesh-eating disease across the border.
Oh, I just saw that today, actually.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, this dude brought flesh-eating disease across the border, and bear in mind, you have these pro or anti-vaccinators out there that is now
Oh,
reversing
yeah.
everything that we have pretty
Yeah.
much gotten rid of.
Yeah.
and now it's coming back. So you have this flesh-eating dude coming over. He's actually detained.
well, from where?
Mexico. They caught him at the Mexico border. I don't know Mexico what state it was, whether it's California, Arizona, or here, but
The people that are opposed to the wall should be the first ones in contact with this motherfucker.
exactly.
It's so stupid.
It really is. So yeah, he came across. They detained him. So I was like, "This is why we need our fucking wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This right here, because we're having people. These may not even be Mexicans. The media is saying somebody crossed from the Mexican border.
Yeah,
they don't
that's-
say who it was.
Yeah, it doesn't
could have
matter.
been Somalian. It could have been any other fucking
Anyone
place.
that's not American that doesn't give a damn about this country.
Exactly. So
We don't know what their what they want, what they're capable of doing, what their intent is. You don't.
No, you really don't.
No, it's
and the thing
dumb.
is, they may be trying to come over and infiltrate us.
Yeah.
And get us all these diseases and stuff like that. Because if you're going to come over here with a flesh-eating disease, we may or may not have that cure for it. I don't know. I'm not going to say we do. I'm not going to say we don't.
Yeah.
But, this is why we need a fucking wall. So I reposted that. And somebody posted back saying, I'm not going to say who.
Yeah.
It was a family member, and she is like, well, she said some snide-ass comment.
Of course.
On that. I'm like, you don't understand why we need this wall. I was like, obviously,
Yeah.
I know a lot more what's going on
Yeah.
than the media will ever let on.
Oh, of course, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, you do know that, right? She goes, well, what does that have to do with my comment? I was like, you know what? I'm not going to argue with politics on Facebook because I'm just not going to do that.
Yeah, it's not worth
If
your
you
time.
don't like it, don't fucking post. Or don't read it.
Yeah.
Don't read it.
Yeah.
This is meant for people who actually agree with me.
Yeah. I mean, my whole Facebook now, like, I pretty much unfollowed anybody who posts anything liberal or anything against my views. So now my whole feed on Facebook is just all conservative stuff.
Now, granted, everybody has their own opinion, which I
Sure.
I completely support. You have your own opinion about it. That's great. But at the same time, don't change the subject of what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
Why we need the wall because this guy is bringing this shit over. Not, oh, we need to let them in because it's families being torn apart. That has nothing to
It
do with it.
doesn't matter. Again, it's the whole the
They're the
only
ones
argument
choosing.
that they have is the emotional argument of their families are being ripped apart. Which first of all, that may be for the better, unfortunately, because the terrible people that
They're the
come
ones
over here.
ripping their own families apart
Yeah,
because
I
they're coming
know.
over here.
I know. Like
Yeah.
you hear about the whole female kids are given birth control on the before they embark
Before
on
they
their
hit
journey
puberty.
before they embark on the way over here because they just expect them to get sexually assaulted.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
It's
That's
it's
a
stupid.
thing.
Well, it's funny.
stupid.
So to go back on the point you're talking about earlier, like, in a sense, it's kind of related. But like when America, like when the white people from England first came over to the United States, and it was all run by Native Americans, we brought diseases over to this country that killed a lot of the Indians or Native Americans that were in this country beforehand. Everybody thinks that we just massacred everybody. It's like most of them actually died because of the diseases that we brought over.
And see, that's the thing. Is
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm
Which
not
that
blaming.
lasted a while, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not blaming school systems, and it.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, well, I know you do,
Public
but
schools, yeah.
yeah.
public schools. I don't think they've gotten too political on the way
Oh,
they
yeah.
teach. So
Well, it's politically correct.
yeah,
Because whatever is
exactly.
politically correct, they have to go along with.
Exactly. It's not actually what
Which is
is
crap.
what is factual history.
Yeah.
So if you teach factual history,
Oh, and you
People will
start
be
omitting
more-
you start omitting periods of history because it's offensive or it's like
exactly.
or you don't want to
It's like
poison
the
kids' minds
it's
with
like
it.
the Confederate flag deal. The reason we had the Civil War was
Oh my
over
God, yeah.
taxes.
Yeah.
It was over taxes, never slavery, because the North. If you actually look it up and read your history, the
Mm-hmm.
North owned more slaves than the South did.
Yep, that's absolutely accurate.
I knew they owned slaves. I didn't know they owned more. That's
Yep.
Yeah.
that's cool. It's good
Yeah.
to know. I mean, it's not cool, but you get what I'm saying. Slavery's cool. No, it's not. But speaking of infiltration, I sent this to our group. I don't know if you were in it, but I sent this to our little group chat, and it was I don't know if it was a retweet or it was a tweet of someone who I follow on Instagram. I'm not going to say her name, but it was about I think her name is Ilhan Omar. She's a dude. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I'm sorry.
You-
So
you
okay,
dick.
no, it's not that. All right, I'll let you continue. But no, I just got a text message from my girlfriend saying it was a meme about the drum beating guy.
Yeah.
His name is Sitting Bullshit.
Dude, no, it's funny. It's so true because that guy. So what's funny because you that's funny you say that or she sends that to you because that guy, he is like Ben Shapiro. Like he was doing his show and whatnot, and they had this Native American guy, Nathan Phillips or whatever his name is. But anyways, he has been known for causing chaos at public events in the past. Like he's been known for trying to get attention that's not true, based off
Right.
of shit that's not true. He's done this shit in the past before. Like no lie.
That's
like,
no surprise.
yeah, because of course he's wanting to start causing
Well, he's Native
chaos,
American. He's
and he
Native
wants
American,
to,
and he wants to try to use that
wants to get
against
attention.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's using the whole race card. Which
Exactly.
if you're Native American, that's great. I have no problem with
care.
that. But don't use your race as leverage.
Yeah, same
Don't
with
use-
black
yeah,
people
or whites, or
I
Mexicans.
don't
It
care.
don't-
Like slavery was bad. We get it. It's done. It hasn't happened in quite some time. Stop fucking pulling the whole race card. The guilt tripping of society.
We're all equal no matter what.
Yeah,
Whatever your color is,
cool.
we're all equal in one way or
Exactly.
another.
No, I completely agree. But yeah, so what I was saying, I told the rest of the guys this. It says our new Muslim Congresswoman, Ilhan Omar, whatever her name is, who was sworn in by putting her hand over the Quran and is now pleading for leniency for men that are now accused of joining ISIS.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, and I don't know if you
And-
talked
and-
about this a second ago, but it's the same woman who said "fuck Trump" during her inauguration into the Congress.
Is
for
it?
Michigan.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that
it's the
that
same
sounds
lady.
about right.
Yeah, she was in front of the whole, the whole thing for the inauguration of it, in front of her son, and said, like "fuck Trump," like.
It's so sad
it's
because the only reason she is of any importance or of being talked about at all is because she's a woman and she's Muslim and she's a congresswoman now, which is sad because I don't care. First, I mean, obviously she's left leaning, like duh, but she's a woman and she's Muslim. That's the only fucking reason why she's been elected,
Yeah.
or she's of any sort of importance or being talked about at all. Like that's it. Mm-hmm. Because diversity and stuff. It's so stupid. Like, yeah,
It's getting
ridiculous.
ridiculous real fast, and I don't know. There's a lot of shit about to go down.
Dude, it's
That's
getting.
fine with me, man. I'm ready to go.
It's.
I'm ready to take my communist rifle and kill like the communist left.
Well, all
The
the
irony in that
left
statement.
wingers,
Stop making threats now.
the left wingers are just going to slap us with their dildos. I mean, what's the worst? What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. Imagine the irony of using a communist hammer and sickle 1942 Mosin Nagant against a liberal who votes for communism. Like
Right. That
the
would be
best
kinda funny.
ironic joke ever.
I forgot who it was.
The
It's
communism.
like there's
bullet.
like this. There's like the Hispanic woman who's completely just idiotic. Who's in
the one from New
Congress.
York?
I think so.
AOC?
And she
Alexandria Ocasio Cortez.
something like that. Yeah.
the one that wants like 70-something% tax rates because she's like jealous of billionaires.
Yeah.
She is so fucking stupid.
No, she's
no,
retarded.
she is.
She's passing that new
fucking
law,
retarded.
or they're trying to pass the new law for the being able to kill babies in the third trimester and 6 months after they're born. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whoa, 6 months after they're
Yeah,
born?
anywhere
Holy
from-
shit,
So
I didn't even know this.
I'm glad you brought that up because
I knew
think
it was a terrible like law that it was pretty much up until birth. I didn't know.
No,
See,
it's
now,
6
okay,
months
now
after
that you
birth
say
now.
this, but
Wow.
check this shit out. This actually happened today. I think it was North Carolina that signed it, or
Mm-hmm.
New York, one of the two. The governor signed it to where you can abort to the last minute up to the due date of your baby.
Yep.
Wow.
Even after it's a full complete baby, before your vagina spits that motherfucker out, you're able to just say,
That's
"Nah,
graphic.
I don't want it. I don't want it anymore." 9 months after burying
Yeah.
a kid, now you decide you don't want it. No, fuck that shit.
That's
As soon as it has a heartbeat, you have no option anymore.
Yeah.
that's
I'm not gonna get like into a crazy raging tangent about this, but whether your opinion is for or against that kind of thing, the fact that like it, first of all, like my point of view is that you have until the first trimester to make a decision, and everybody's got a different point, right?
Hey, here's a good way. Use a fucking condom.
Well, yeah, that too. But theoretically speaking, let's say you do make a mistake, and
Unless you're like me and
my
have a great
opinion
pull-out
is that
game.
you have until the yeah.
Sorry. Oh Jesus, we just went there.
But no, seriously though, like if you, at least in my opinion, I believe until the first trimester, which is 3 months into
Yeah,
it.
something that's at least somewhat.
Let's go with that because that's usually been a pretty common ground for most people.
But- and what's
that,
funny-
that gives
sorry.
you 3 months to figure out whether you want to have
Yeah,
a child or not.
I know.
3 effing months. If
Yeah.
you can't figure out whether you want to have a baby or not in 3 months,
Make
that's your problem,
make
and
up
you
your
deserve to
mind.
keep that baby. The fact that they're wanting to go up until the day of birth or possibly 6 months after.
That's crazy.
That's
That's,
retarded.
that's
Okay,
the portion
well-
that surprised me because I thought the whole pro-choice, pro-life thing was at least up to birth,
Well,
and
no,
then
the
after
thing
that,
is-
there's no like.
No, the thing is, okay,
Your girlfriend wants to say something.
Well, okay, I kind of misspoke. What I mean is like, as soon as it has a heartbeat, yeah, you still have your option, whatever. Sure. But waiting till the last minute to do it, that's kind of fucked up.
Right, and that's why I
Yeah.
brought up the first trimester because
Yeah, after your first trimester, you kind of already decided, yeah, I want to keep this kid.
Yeah.
I want a kid.
yeah.
Or at least where it, can actually is, I don't know what.
I mean, today's technology is giving you ample time. I mean, there's the after pill, like the Plan B or whatever, like 2 weeks after, like you take your pregnancy
or as
test
one of
or
our
whatever.
friends called it, the extermination pill.
Yeah. But all jokes aside, like it's just funny because it's like
Yes.
even among the common ground of the first trimester, it's like that's a whole 3 months to decide whether you want to or not.
That's a long fucking time. That's
Yeah.
90 goddamn days.
Yeah, that's a long time, and that doesn't include like the period before that when you're getting the pregnancy test and you have the ability to take Plan B. Like,
You should know in a month.
yeah, like you've got a month, and then you've also got another technically 90 days, like, or I guess
Yeah.
whenever the period starts when you're
No,
pregnant. or
I
whatever,
understand,
but-
the first moment you get pregnant, it's kind of a scary moment, especially if you're young,
Yeah,
and
You can
whatnot.
talk from experience, can you not?
Yeah, fuck you.
No, I'm sorry. We'll edit that out.
Well, no, I mean, the thing is, she was like, "Oh, I'm not on birth control anymore." I'm like, "Oh, now you tell me."
jeez.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't ever regret having my daughter at all.
Yeah,
No,
of course not.
She's, fucking amazing. So,
Yeah,
but if I could have redone it all, that's probably still have my kid. I mean, it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard to say that. I
No,
would
yeah,
because
because you don't
I
know
love
what
my
your
daughter.
life would have ended up at. You could have been, I'm not going to go there. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, things happen for a reason. And,
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
they really do.
especially once you've had the kid, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, at the end of the day, like it's a blessing I have my daughter with me. you know?
Exactly.
Exactly. Whether you internally decide whether you would have kept it or not, like in the beginning, at the end of the day, it's still a blessing to have a child.
It really is, but the thing is, but going back to what we were saying, wait until the last fucking trimester or last
Yeah.
fucking day, be like, fuck it, I don't want it.
Yeah, which is really fucked up. By the way,
That's
because like
fucked
that
up.
baby's literally about to pop out of your vagina, and you're like, nah, I'm cool.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's like, oh, I'm 10 centimeters already? Fuck it, I don't want it.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, speaking of New York and their retarded laws, by the way, that's you can't say that word on the radio anymore.
What, retard?
I'm not surprised.
Retarded.
Also, I don't know if you guys know or not, but speaking
I'm
of
sorry,
New York,
you can say bitch, but you can't say retard. Like, that's
Yeah.
so dumb.
which is dumb because retard is also a scientific term for yeah, retard. But it's funny because the term retard actually comes from like the retarding of like
Incapable of doing
what is it
something,
with
or
fire, like a fire retardant blanket and stuff like that. Like it's supposed to retard like the flames.
Yeah, it's different kind of retard.
Oh, Nick.
Oh,
Like, fire retardant is something that is like, if
I love that he's like,
fire retardant is something that is like
preventative.
preventative. Thank you.
Yes.
But also, like-
doesn't catch on fire like fire suits. That's fire retardant, like our fire gear.
Do you
Yeah,
have
there's fire
a
retardant.
Do you have a cyanide retardant suit?
okay. So I won't backpedal, but at least the term retarded like comes from being slower or to slow down.
I mean, no, you're right. That I could
Retard-
see where he
retard is
got that
such a
term from.
broad-
I could see where he at least got that. He may be wrong, but I could see where he, because if you're using a fire retardant blanket, I guess he's trying to
Use this
slow down
retarded
fi-
blanket to put on the fire. It'll make it stupid.
slow down the fire. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to make it feel less dumb. Okay. But anyways.
Okay,
anyways.
so from the Oxford Dictionary, retard.
Jesus Christ.
Just to go
Oh
ahead and put
my
this from the
God.
Oxford Dictionary before
Are you
society
using
changed.
WikiLeaks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please get off CNN. Nick.
No, from the definition from the Oxford Dictionary, before the society changed the definition of retard, it's to delay or hold back in terms of progress or development.
All right, so I'm a legitimate retard because I was held back in math.
I was also held back before I went to school because I have a summer birthday.
Man, I'm filled with a bunch of idiots
But still, it's just one of those things where it's like
surrounded by
people.
a bunch of retards.
I don't want to get too okay. So I bring this up quite a
All
bit,
right,
but it's
now hell, let me get another beer.
grab a beer.
I'm just kidding.
But no, I guess it's one of those things where, like, when I was a kid growing up, it was like sticks or stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me. The fact that we make these words hurt somebody is fucking retarded, in a sense.
I don't know. I think PETA might have something against that.
Oh,
Sure.
good Christ,
Yeah.
that's another topic.
Of course they will. But seriously, like, just the fact that people allow words to hurt them just blows
Exactly.
my mind. It's like,
I was
really?
like, I'm pretty sure my physical beating your ass will hurt worse
Yes.
than my words ever fucking
Correct.
will. Because you'll forget what I said, but you never forget the day where I broke the fuck out of your face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just.
Oh. Sorry, what?
That's why I can't stand when people get so upset about words. It's just like it's a
Exactly.
word.
Yeah.
You're allowing
Get the
that
fuck
word.
over it, you
First of
pansy
all-
ass bitch.
Whoa. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, and you know the whole freedom
Sensitive
of speech
salad.
thing
So
kind
it's so it's funny. The point we talked about the education system earlier.
She's gonna hurt you. By the way, she's gonna end up stabbing you tonight.
He's used to it.
She's also have to
She
have
got
a
me
ride
a beer,
home.
so you know I had to learn
I am
thank
your
you
Uber.
in sign language. You know, when I had to not talk for a week, I had to try and attempt.
Coulda
to-
asked me. I'm pretty much
Were
still.
you playing charades?
I was
Were
like,
you
I'll
playing
hire
charades
Nick. I'll hire Nick as my. Yeah, no, that's exactly what I do. I had to text my parents for a week, and when I was in the same room with them.
Oh,
I
so
had to
you were
type
like,
out some shit, and I'll hold it in front of their face, and my dad will be like, oh, "Hang on, where's my glasses?
Wait,
I have to get my
What was
glasses."
that
I'm
guy's
like,
name?
God, you're old.
What was that guy's name that always had to type on a computer to talk?
Oh, Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, that's your bitch ass.
Well, I couldn't. I don't have a computer to talk for me. I'm not like a scientist who can afford all this shit.
No, but your way of
Ryan,
communication
I
was...
need a beer.
So let me go.
Please send a beer.
Jesus,
Jesus.
that's terrible. That's too far. I'm just
So
kidding.
the tangent that I was gonna go on was when we had slightly touched on the topic of education, because that's recently been something that's been grinding my gears, if you will.
All right,
Because
Peter
I've
Griffin.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's like a lot of articles that I've been reading recently about education system is more and more schools are getting rid of recess. And more schools are getting rid
What?
of... Yeah, I'm not kidding
They
you.
want to... Okay, so I'm going to touch on that for a
Yeah.
fucking minute. You want to get rid of recess. No wonder America's having obesity fucking problems.
Well,
You're
you're
not
also-
getting our kids out there and fucking exercising the shit out of them.
So the reason why I was going to get into that is because there's a reason why they're getting recess. And you want to know what it is? It's because of toxic masculinity. They say that... I'm not even kidding you. They say that, like, people playing tag is considered toxic masculinity because it's too aggressive of a sport. I mean, they got rid of... when I was in high school, they got rid of dodgeball because it would hurt people too bad. Yeah, when I
that
was
was the funnest sport, pegging somebody with that fucking rubber ball right in the
Yes!
face.
Dude, I remember I
I
love
remember getting
dodgeball.
hit and it stung so fucking bad and made me that much more pissed off to where I would actually...
Yeah.
I targeted somebody.
I'm not kidding you. Yeah, they're 100% getting rid of recess and they're getting rid of those things. Because that's the problem with education is the fact that they're getting rid of toxic masculinity sports, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where the education system. So, you know, Connor and I talked about this in the first episode. Was the difference between college and trade school was the fact that like the education system is so liberal because a lot of them who end up becoming teachers are the ones who stay in the education system their whole lives, right? They go through high school, they get into college, and they don't know what they want to do for a real job, so they become a teacher. They're like, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to teach whatever I got really good
they
at.
find a topic they like, and they may not be good at it. Like, all right, so we're watching.
They're good at teaching
how-
and explaining.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know How I Met Your Mother, the
Right.
TV show.
Yeah.
You know, you got a guy on there named Ted Mosby.
Yeah.
And he's an architect, can't, for shit, build a building or whatever, but becomes a professor.
Exactly.
Teach what you know.
Yeah, these people who become, and I'm not saying all teachers or professors are bad, but at the same time, you get these people who are like, well, I've never had a real job because my parents paid for everything, so I'm just going to become a teacher because I can't actually, work in the real world. I can't tolerate being a 9 to 5 or getting yelled at by my boss. So I'm just going to be a teacher and teach other students. So that turns into the cycle of the education system.
And there's
where,
nothing wrong with being a teacher.
No, of course
but
not.
the thing
That's
is, it's how you teach. If you
Yeah.
get too political in your teaching, like, my ex-wife, for instance, she went to SMU, became a lawyer.
Right.
That's fine and all, but SMU is very left-wing.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it used to be very Republican. Like, it used to be
Oh, it
very
used to be,
conservative.
yeah.
But now it's so left-sided, it's fucking ridiculous. And the school system itself, from middle school or even elementary on up, has gotten that way. And
But that's the point. I don't know
if
if you missed it or not, Connor, but so I was talking about how in the education system they're getting rid of recess and they're getting rid of tag.
Yeah.
Because of toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
So it cracks me up. So anyway, on the education bubble that I was talking about, like the fact that they're getting rid of all of these things that make males growing up as a kid, like the cliche phrase, oh, they're just being boys. Like they're getting rid of those things in the education
Boys will be boys.
system because it's not fair for, females or people who are, less masculine when it comes to those exercises like tag and like the exercising that you have to do as a kid. Whatever it's called.
And the thing is, it's funny you bring that up, is that they're actually thinking about bringing the draft to the females.
Interesting.
Yeah, which I don't mind that.
Yeah.
If they feel like they want to be drafted, then be drafted. I think females
Here's
can
the
do.
thing,
I
though.
think the females can do exactly what we can do.
Yeah.
I
really
really
do.
don't. I don't.
Well, I can't hang on. Some
I really don't. Your
So, no.
girlfriend's agreeing with me.
Well, no. Okay, there are some that can. I actually serve in the Army with a few females that can
Yeah.
actually do what I do. But as far as lifting and stuff goes,
Yeah.
leave that to the guys at least.
That's fine.
But as far as shooting,
Yeah, yeah.
there's guys that have been outshot by females.
Again,
So-
I don't doubt that there are women who could kick other dudes' asses at a lot of different things. But if we're trying to ignore the fact that men and women are different biologically, obviously, like you said, when it comes to lifting and physical strength, men are almost always going to be stronger.
Yeah. We have So,
So
what
if you
I've
want to get
learned-
into the draft thing, it's weird because it's always been men because gender roles, which I'm a firm believer in. Again,
it's the masculinity thing, which I get. That's fine.
There are
But-
outlying special cases like we've talked about in the past.
But as
where-
far as shooting goes, if we just need them for infantry purposes, then by all means, bring them on.
Yeah,
because
that's
there are
fine.
some top shot women out there that
agree.
can kick some ass.
yeah, I'm sure there are, but again,
like-
if you want to, the gender roles thing, if you're going to try and throw women into the draft, where it's like, you're going to start, it just sets not a bad example. I don't know. I'm terrible at explaining it, but like, I don't know if it implies that like men and women are the same
let's
because
put
they're
it this
not.
way: if they draft them, they have to like specific things like nursing or something like that. Something
Okay,
where they can
yeah, no, that's
help
fine.
our asses out a little bit.
I can
But
I can
back to your
get on
masculinity
board
thing.
with that.
Back to your masculinity thing. It's,
Yeah.
Boys will
Yeah.
be boys.
Yeah.
exactly.
I hate that commercial, by the way.
Yeah.
You saw the Gillette commercial,
So
right?
I guess the
Oh,
point.
dude, Gillette's so much under fire right now.
Yeah. I guess the
Well,
point that I was getting at is that
They hopped on the PC bandwagon.
So the point that I was getting at with the education system is that when you're growing up as a child and you're in your developmental stages of life, like you're raised by two different factors of your life: the education system and your parents. Like that's what defines you growing up as a kid, right? So, let's say your parents do teach you like more conservative values, but then they go to the education system where they get shunned for that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
they get taught
then
the
it
complete
causes a lot of
opposite.
confusion for that child because it's like, okay, well, my parents are saying that I can be more conservative in my morals and values here.
Your parents should
But-
always win.
But the education system is you're typically spending more time in middle
Yeah,
school.
you spend hours. 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Monday through Friday in an education system
Yeah.
where they're teaching all these liberal fucking logics.
Yeah.
Whereas you're with your parents maybe a couple hours during the day. You may talk to them here and that. And the older you get, when you become a teenager, you think, "Oh, my parents are dumb. They don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck
And
to talk
that's-
about."
and that's where the
I'm going
problem-
to listen to the school system because they're teaching me. I'm going through school so they can teach me things.
Yeah.
So
And that's
they're
where
going to
the
listen to them.
and that's where the problem gets with the education system because boys will inherently want to let their boyness out, right? And a lot of them are turning to games like Fortnite
Yeah, 'cause
and all
you
those
know-
dumb games because it's like they don't have anywhere else to go to let out those frustrations or
Yeah,
those
because
things that,
testosterone and stuff.
that's what I'm saying. When you're in your developmental stages,
Like-
guys need to have their ability to go out and play tag.
yeah, like
or go out
sports or
and play
football
sports
or
and
tackling
stuff.
each other.
But when the education system is taking that kind of stuff away, then it's causing males to become inherently more beta because that's all they
They're
know growing
removing
up.
their sack with the testicles in there and throwing them out the window.
They're
And saying, "Oh,
essentially-
this is fine."
They're essentially
Fucking
becoming
don't need it.
snowflakes.
Yeah.
Essentially, they're becoming
And
snowflakes.
it's not always their fault, but it's the fact that they're growing up in the system where they're just like, no, you can't do that because that's too aggressive.
It's
in
frowned
nature.
upon to be aggressive
Yeah.
because, again, testosterone and biology and
Yeah,
it's
fuck
so,
science.
It's so dumb. It is so incredibly
And
stupid.
I got to go back on the point we were talking about with women in the military. Like I'm in full support of women who choose to be in the military.
Yeah, I am too.
The biological problem with that is that biologically men are designed to protect women. That's biological
Yeah,
in nature.
I
Right?
agree
That's
with that.
We are protective beings of women because women are biologically inherently made to, obviously there's exceptions, but birth children and protect the family and protect the home. And
Hold
again,
down the fort.
right?
if
I'm
you
not saying
will.
that's always the case.
not
and women
everyone,
have,
but
again,
again,
women have choice nowadays, and
if
that's
we're
great.
looking
and all,
at
but,
biology and not personality,
but again, from a biological perspective, that's typically how things are designed by gender.
Exactly.
Right?
And
when you
a
put-
few months ago, we actually had the first female Army Ranger go through.
Yeah, it's funny. So my, I'm totally forgetting his name, but I used to work with him. He was in the Army Ranger School, and he was with the women that were the first ones to go through Army Ranger basics in school. During that time, that it was all over the news that they had women in the Army Ranger School.
That's cool.
So like it was, and that's the thing, right? With him, he was like, I had no problem with the women in the Army Ranger School. Like that was cool. And then shortly after that, they finally allowed one into the Army Rangers. The thing is that when you're throwing a female into a situation of a battle, and I feel like inherently men biologically are going to try to protect
We're
the
gonna
women.
run towards the gunfight, and we're gonna biologically just by state of mind, we're gonna protect the women. So if we have a woman fight next to us, be like, hey, get behind us. Like it's nothing to do with gender.
it has
It's
nothing
just-
to do
it's-
with
it's
I'm better
something
than
that's
you. It's just
programmed in us.
it's literally hardwired into our brains to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
that's the only thing that I would
last
say, right?
thousands of years, it's just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Like
That's the way it's always
now,
been.
Like,
now
I've-
it's gunfire. It used to be spears.
I've
Whatever
never
kinda jungle
batted.
shit.
I've never batted an eye, for a female being in military. I mean, like look at the the
No.
first Alien movie. Like they had a badass woman who was in like the.
That was a movie though. Don't.
But still, like the
I'm
point is
kidding.
like that was like the early 2000s or whatever when the Alien movie came out. And they had a badass female in like their military, and nobody ever batted an eye at that because it was just like, okay, cool, she's a badass or whatever. But it's
Yeah,
Well, let's
that's
put it
fine.
this
We're
way.
getting-
I know a female that's really close that her name is Heather, and she was actually in my unit before she switched over units. And when we went up to Fort McCoy or what have you, we did drills where we actually get attacked, bombed, and gassed and everything like
Right.
that. I mean, she took charge, took lead, and was in the gunfight or
and
what
I'm not
have
surprised by that.
And that's
Like
a
there are
personality
women
thing,
out in this
too.
world
you.
who can do
there
that.
are
leadership
other
thing.
women in our unit who stayed back.
Right.
Didn't pick up a rifle, didn't do anything.
That's
they
a
stayed back.
personality thing. There are natural born leaders and there are
Yeah,
natural
exactly.
born followers. There's nothing
She's
wrong with that.
The thing is, if you look at her resume, she's a nurse. She's a
It's like
she's
this
a, she's a
long.
teacher. She teaches EMS. She's a paramedic. She's everything under
She's
the
a
fucking sun.
badass. We'll just say that.
Maybe she's cool as shit, but
No,
but
I
you think of
get
all the
you.
other women that are in our unit, they wouldn't.
I would
They wouldn't
say
run
I would
towards the
say where it
gunfire.
ends is like if I had a choice, I'd say that if women have a choice and they want to make that choice to go in, they have full reign
Yeah,
to do
that's
so.
fine.
If they want to do it, that is totally up to them. I could care less because that's their choice. I just think making it to open to a draft for all women to get into that may be a different story because not all women are going to be like your friend Heather, where they can take charge and lead a unit into
Yeah.
battle.
Yeah.
Like it's not
It's not
It-
for
it's
everyone.
one-
It's an
really
exception.
It's not for everyone.
It's
That's
one
the
of those
thing.
things where you have to swallow your pride or swallow the gut of, I'm getting shot at.
Yeah.
Like this is a life or death situation, and I'm gonna probably come out dead over alive.
Again, there's always exceptions to everything in this world, but it's just men biologically in nature have the ability to turn on that adrenaline or the testosterone in a situation and make logical decisions. And again, every woman, I don't want to say every woman, but I'm just
Unless
saying
you're
like,
transgender, then that's a whole nother thing.
yeah, right.
We'll get to that.
And again, I always have to make the premise that it's like there's always exceptions to everything. Like your girlfriend is a total fucking badass. But that doesn't mean that like every girl in this world is gonna be a total badass.
She hits me.
She definitely wears the pants in the relationship. She definitely wears the pants in the relationship. But it's just not every woman's designed to be a badass like that. It's just like there's always exceptions to that kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's why I don't think having an open draft for all women to be a part of that is necessary.
Yeah, the
compared to
moment
a
I
choice.
saw
I
that,
think
I
if
just
it
kind of
were-
raised an eyebrow.
If
I
it
was
were
like,
a thing, I think it should be a lot more broader of a opportunity on the opportunity spectrum, as like you said, nurses, blah blah blah, other things that.
so you mean make it to whereas okay, we're gonna open up a draft.
like
for
you don't have
females.
to go on the front lines,
well, no. Hang on. So what you're saying is open up a draft and make it to where here's your
Everyone-
options.
yeah.
Here's the options that we're going to provide if we open up a draft, and now we're going to vote on it
Yeah.
for females to do. Whereas if you open, the thing is,
No, you can
we're
do
never-
you
we're
can
never
either
gonna have-
or.
we're
You can
not-
do either or.
We're never going to have a draft again because the likelihood of that happening is slim to none. First of all, second of all, when you open up a draft like that, you have to put every person that is available for draft through basic training, through all that bullshit, learn them how
Yeah.
to teach them how to shoot and all this other crap. And
hate-
we've already done that once, and it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I hate to say this, but there are some people that are just probably it's a waste of time. Don't do it.
Exactly.
Don't
And
waste your
that-
time and
that-
money on them. They're
and-
already
but
long
you can
gone.
also-
That's the problem.
also make that
America
argument
would waste
against men, too.
America would waste so much fucking money.
you're right, they
Opening a
would.
draft for people for snowflakes that can't even handle a gun.
That money could be spent on a wall.
Not only that, you're gonna have people come in. They're gonna draft people coming in. They're like, oh, I got my hands on a weapon now, and I'm gonna blow away
Yeah,
these
no,
motherfuckers.
people that are mentally. Yeah, no,
You-
you're right.
It's all
It's
just
probably
a,
a
bad idea.
terrible idea.
I guess the other, back
like
to
you
your
said,
point
it's not
earlier,
for-
like with
it's
a
not for
draft,
everyone.
like not all men are meant to be drafted into the military, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just
No.
again, that's just how you're raised,
Hell
and
no.
it only adds to the fire when you're adding females into that, because not all men supposed to be in the military, but not all women are supposed to be in the military, and it just makes
Exactly.
it more difficult.
Just
You
go
throw-
work.
you
Hey,
throw
go work
both
at
sexes-
Starbucks and make my fucking mocha choca bullshit.
Yeah,
You
some
throw-
guy with
you
a man
throw-
bun or whatever.
You throw both sexes who can't handle themselves into the military where they're
Yeah.
being told what to do, and they just they lose their shit.
So the argument I got into with another person the other day was the fact that people view the world in such a black and white viewpoint.
Yeah.
They don't understand that the world is extremely gray. Extremely gray. Like that's why I always have to preface there's always exceptions, right? There's always
we
going to be
speak in
rules.
generalities here.
You always speak in generalities because the world is gray. It's not black and white.
Yeah.
That's
Clearly.
what people don't understand in this. Whether you're liberal or conservative, is they're not agreeing with the fact that the world is gray. That's why I believe women should have a choice to either keep a child, or that's why I believe women should have a choice to join the military, because it's a choice. It's not black and
Well,
white.
obviously it's going to be a choice, but the thing is, to keep a child, it's going to be. How long are you going to fucking wait till you decide to where I don't want this?
yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Really?
It took you more than 3 months to figure that out. Come on, really?
By the way, speaking of that, now I'm going to do a swift tangent here.
Alright.
Speaking of that god awful state of New York, you couldn't pay me enough to live there.
It's Cuck York now.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if my
California.
active duty orders go through, that's probably where I'll be. Unfortunately.
Bless your heart, sir.
I feel bad.
Yeah, she'll leave you. But anyways, or she'll just live here. Yeah.
A lot of FaceTiming.
Yeah. Get used to that.
Bless your heart.
But anyways, yeah. But anyways, I don't know if it was this year or it was very recent. I know that where you can now legally put an X on your driver's license as opposed to an M or an F for male or female, to where you don't identify as a gender. You can literally
you can do that in
legally
New York now.
put an X on your driver's license because you are you don't identify as a gender.
Well, see,
It's
the funny thing is-
fucking stupid. Does she have something to say?
At the same time, nobody fucking drives in New York.
That's true, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The
Well, if you go
problem
from
is,
Jersey to New York, you kind of do.
You don't. You still take the goddamn subway.
Well, it's also the fact that the driver's license,
If you're
yes, it's for.
upstate, that's different. But New York.
but either way,
But also,
it's
driver's
like,
license is also an ID. It's identification as well.
yeah, no, it's supposed to.
Well, okay.
The point of. Oh, that's cool. I'm just gonna not identify as a male or female. So when I need medical attention or something, and a doctor who needs to know my biological sex in order to make a diagnosis of whatever, people need to know whether you're male or female. You just see it's
in the medical
it's pretty much
field-
I don't know.
In the medical
what?
field, it's always going to be male or female. There will never be.
I know,
don't know.
it's bullshit.
So I was applying
but dude, can you you are allowed to put an X on your fucking driver's license?
Well, get this. I was
That's
applying.
a-
I was
it's a-
applying
it's
for
a
a job.
NA.
And I was applying for a job, and it said, I think it said, I don't know.
Oh my fucking
I've seen
god!
that before. Yeah.
And I was like, I was sitting there looking at Kayla. I was like,
Oh my god!
I honestly want to put I don't know
just
just to fuck with him.
But
Just
dude, do you
this is-
do you understand? Do you understand
No,
the?
but he would have gotten the job.
I don't doubt it. But
Yeah.
do you understand the severity of the downhill course we're on as a country? If that's okay and legal, what the fuck? It
Dude,
is so
we're such
stupid.
we're on a fast downhill slope
I know we
in this
are.
country, and
it's not
fucking
good.
ridiculous.
Tell
I
you, man,
can't-
I'm
the whole
armed and
transgender,
ready. I'm ready for the Civil War. Come on, I'm ready.
LGBTQ, whatever fucking BLT community there is,
I fuck lettuce.
it's so it's going
I'll rub
so
tomatoes on my
incredibly
nipples.
radical. What? What? What did he say? Can you? Are we gonna have to rewind the tape?
I rub tomatoes on my nipple.
That's cool. Does that work?
My girlfriend
All
likes
right, I'm
it.
out.
That's weird. That's a end of the podcast. There.
No, I'm out. I'm just
hope
leaving.
not.
I'm just
Oh.
leaving. I'm out. I'm
Please.
done.
I'm out this bitch.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a minute 23. So, I mean, a minute. Sorry, an hour 23 minutes. I'm not drunk. What? Either way, it
Swear to drunk, I'm not God.
I swear. Yeah, Ossifer. I swear.
Ossifer.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, it's yeah. The world is not on a great track right now.
No.
But hopefully hopefully next time we'll have more to talk about, with or without this guy. But he'll definitely be on in the future.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely.
And we need to get another person on as well. We're getting a fourth mic soon.
Well, if you're gonna have a fourth mic on, I'll be every Sunday.
All right.
Yeah, you can be our fill-in host.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Ryan, thank you for coming over.
Thanks for having me.
And,
Thanks for bringing your Texas accent with you.
Yeah, yes. He's like Adam, but more southern.
Yeah. It's pleasing to
and,
ears.
and less brown.
Born and bred.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, cool.